Hello, everyone, and a long time no see. So you may be wondering, why have I suddenly decided to make another video on this channel? Well, there's a few reasons for that, and if you refer back to the first video that I uploaded, maybe it was about 11 months ago, nearly a year ago, when I posted a video saying that I was 22 and I had no friends. Where am I at now? Nearly 11 months on, almost a year on. Where am I at today? Well, 2023's been quite a big year for me in life, actually, and quite a lot of things have changed. And it's very much a year that I think I can look back on and say, yes, I've done that. Yes, I've done that. Yes, I've done that. And I'm hoping to explain a little bit more in this video where I'm at today, and maybe some of those people can look at maybe where I was a year ago and see where I am today. And it's a thing for me as well to look back on and think, oh, actually, I have grown a lot over the last year. So yeah, I'm going to tell you about 5 big things that have changed in my life, and yeah, we'll see how we get on in the video. So the first one I'm going to talk about then is the social life. Where is that at today? Well, that has changed quite a bit, and it's probably gotten to a place where I am actually reasonably happy. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but that's not really that's not the expectation I set of myself this year, was for it to be 100% perfect. It was to be better than it was a year ago, and I've definitely done that. And actually, I've achieved some brilliant things in that area. So I started. I suppose I stuck up my meetups that I was going to, and started maybe going to a couple of others as well. So the board game nights that I was going to, that I may have referred to in the original video, I obviously kept going to those. But I started going to some pub quizzes as well, which pub quiz in the UK is quite a common fun thing that you can go and do. Essentially, it's a test of your general knowledge or your music knowledge or politics or whatever area of the quiz happens to be focused on in that particular round. So I started getting on with some of those as well. And where I'm at today, well, I can actually say that I have a best friend. I can actually say that today. I've met this really good guy. He's about a year older than me, so similar sort of age, but went for a very similar journey, I think, in terms of his social life and some of the changes he'd gone through in his life, and some of the social anxieties and stuff like that. He'd been on a very similar journey to me, and I think the two of us started to get talking, and we started to do things together, and have actually become quite good friends now. And we maintain quite regular contact, and we are often out doing things quite frequently. Certainly a couple of times a week. Normally, it's not been so much over the last week or two, just because of travel and stuff like that in our lives. Because I've been away for work, and he's been away as well. But all in all, it's pretty frequent, and we maintain pretty good contact, and we do some pretty fun things together. An example of some of the things that we frequently do: we go to the driving range. Most weeks. So if you're into golf, I'm not a particularly massive golfer, but I have got some golf clubs lying around, so I took those with me. Went down to the driving range, and I say this friend will often come with me, and we'll just go stand there and whack balls for an hour. And it's a good laugh, and as you say, you can certainly have a brilliant time, even just doing that. And who knows, maybe one day we'll get a bit better at golf, and we might even have a game together. But yeah, that's definitely a big change, as I can actually say I have a best friend today, which is brilliant, and I'm really, really pleased with that. And we actually hang out with a sort of wider group of people as well, who are kind of sort of more, I suppose, more distant friends, but people that we're with as well, who we often do the pub quizzes with. And yeah, they're all really good bunch of people. Again, people all from different ages, people sort of closer to our age in our early 20s, some people a little bit older, so it's quite a mix, which is really good, and I'm really, really pleased with that. So I think the social life thing, big tick in that area. And I think I do value my alone time as well. I mean, I say the last week or two, I probably spent quite a bit more time by myself, just because, again, work travel and, as you say, I've obviously spent a bit of time with my colleagues socialising, and then obviously I got back about a week ago from the trip, and I've probably had quite a quiet week this week, just to try and recover a little bit and recharge, because that's natural as introverts. As introverts, we do tend to like to recharge a little bit before we go back out again and socialise. So yeah, no real concerns there. It's just just the way that life flows sometimes. So the second big change in my life, well, I've moved out. So a year ago, I was still living with the parents, or my dad and his wife, so my stepmom, and it was an okay situation, but it wasn't really brilliant. Me and my stepmother had a bit of a tricky relationship. I think we struggled to live together, and we'd often have some issues there. And I think my dad was probably a bit fed up of having me live with him as well. And I think I was probably also fed up of living by the parents' rules. It's really not very fun. So I moved out. Actually, about 2 months ago, I moved out, and I'm actually renting my own little house. And yeah, it's a lot more expensive than living at home, but you know what? It's pretty nice to be able to have your own little place just to live in, have your own rules, and as you say, you get a lot more freedom. And it's kind of in some ways supported my social life quite a lot more, because I actually live nearer to the town where I hang out and do things as well. So that it does make life a little bit easier. It means I can have a drink or two. And I don't have to worry about getting home, for example. So that's definitely been a big change as well, the moving out. But no, so far, really enjoying it. So the third thing I've maybe done or tried or changed in my life. So I said about a year ago that I'd never been on a date in my life before. Now, I've done one date this year, or maybe 10 dates, depending on how you define doing dates. But I actually had this really bright idea back in February to try my hand at a bit of speed dating. And don't really know why I decided to try it, but I thought, well, I'll give it a go. You got nothing to lose by doing it. And yeah, went to try my hand at a bit of speed dating. And it's really not as bad as it sounds. I mean, it can sound quite big and scary to go and try your hand at, but it's really not that bad once you actually get in the venue and try your hand at it a little bit, and you try to have a bit of a flow of conversations with people, and it does it does prove to you that you can do it. I think that's probably what I learned from the experience. Now, I did go on a follow-up date with somebody after that, and then it didn't really go much further than that. But I'd had the experience of it, and it's definitely something I can look back on this year and say I've ticked off and done. I still have a flick around on the online stuff sometimes, but to be honest, at the moment in my life, it's really not something I'm putting too much focus or attention onto. I sort of try to steer away from that a bit and just focus more on the social life aspect. And me having moved out, and when you move out, you've got to keep a place clean, and then sort of life in work and stuff as well. So that's definitely a number 3 there. Number 4, I mentioned as well about how I never really tended to have much of a relationship with my colleagues at work. I'd often go and sit out in the car by myself, and did start to get a bit closer with people, but maybe wasn't quite there. Again, definitely over the last year, really started to build those relationships with my colleagues a lot more as well. And whenever there is a social event or something that comes up, or even just our bi-weekly catch-up call we have as a department, I'll always make the effort to try and get on there and just join the conversation. And that's really one of the biggest things that I try to do, is just have a go at engaging in the conversation and just try it, and don't worry about saying the wrong thing too much. Because really you can't really say the wrong thing. That's the reality. Unless you go and outright offend somebody or call somebody a name, which I hope you wouldn't do, you can't really say the wrong thing. So definitely a close relationship with my colleagues. Indeed, I say another one of my colleagues has become quite a good friend as well, and I'll frequently spend a bit of time with him as well. I think I'm actually going to like a visualization workshop with him in London tomorrow. So that'll be a bit interesting and something to go and learn. And it's just personal growth, essentially. The number 5 then is trying my hand at a bit of volunteering. And yeah, as you say, it can be little things that you can do, or small things, or I say larger things as well, sort of more regular commitments. So I've tried a couple of smaller things, but I have kind of ventured out into sort of some of the larger, more committing activities now as well. So I can't go into too much detail about what my committed volunteering activity is, just because it's kind of something that it might give too much away about where I live and all that. But as you say, it's a worthwhile cause, and I'm sort of starting to learn a bit about that as well, meeting some new people again from different walks of life, and learning new skills as well. And I think that's really my big thing that I've learned about myself, is I always do best in life if I'm working towards something, or working towards a goal, or as you say, I'm just growing as a person, and the aim there is just to get that little bit better every day. It's not about being perfect, giving 110% effort. It's just about being that little bit better. If you can be just that little 1% better every day, then I'm perfectly happy with that. And I would say life's going in the right direction for me there. And I think overall, just to wrap this up, and where I am today is, I'm pretty pleased. I think looking back over the last year, a lot of stuff's happened. I'm not in the perfect situation that I want to be in. There are still some things I'd like to get a bit better at. But if I look at where I was a year ago and where I am today, and how I feel about myself today, I do feel infinitely better. I really do feel like I'm in an absolutely brilliant position today. And I think with that in mind, I'm excited to see where 2024 takes me. Watch this space. I am hoping that I'll be able to upload a bit more to this channel. I'm hoping I'll actually be able to share a bit more of my life journey with people on here, and maybe try to give some tips to people as well. I mean, if people want to, pop something in the comments and you want a bit of tips or advice or anything you can do to help on this journey, I mean, pop it in the comments and I'll try and help you as best I can, and give you any tips. And we're all here to help each other, right? And if I can make these changes over the last year, I think most people should be able to do that, or anybody can really. There's no limitation. It's just giving it a go and believing in yourself, and you'll get there. But no, thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed seeing my updates, and I'll certainly put some more content on here when I can as well, and hopefully let you see a little bit of my life and how things go and how I've grown as a person, and maybe how you can as well. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and take care. Bye bye.